Okay,
Okay.
great. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining. We have Joe and Avila here today. We are
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. We're going to be interviewing Avila, and she's going to be sharing her experiences. Could you please introduce yourself and what you're about and what you do?
Sure. My name is Avila, and I am spiritual. And I've been on this journey for a couple of years now. I moved to Texas and I went through this healing process. It was really amazing. I found really awesome stuff such as skydiving. I jumped into that, literally. I jumped out of airplanes. And it was very fun. It was a part of my spiritual healing because it showed me there's a lot more to life than sitting around doing nothing. You can do awesome, amazing things. And that's kind of what I want to bring to the table is healing and how to heal. And I'll be utilizing some of, the things that I've learned on my own path. And then also I want to share that, we can all have fun and we can do things that are awesome and that make us feel free. And for me, that was skydiving. So I created a YouTube channel and I made some skydive videos and some spirituality videos. I recently found this course called the Full-Time Purpose course. And although I don't necessarily have a career built in this yet, I'm headed into that direction where I want to help people heal, have some spiritual gifts. And, throughout this journey, I've been a little shy to share them. But I think it's time now that, the world is waking up. A lot of people are awakened to the idea of spirituality and that there's a lot more than just what meets the eye. So it makes me feel more comfortable to share my spiritual gifts and healing and all there is with that. So.
Oh, thank you for sharing. It's a very brave move, and jumping out of a plane doesn't sound easy.
So what about you guys? What do you do?
Yeah, Joe, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I started my spiritual awakening back in 2013. Started with the conspiracies and all that stuff first, and then kind of worked my way into spirituality. Then this past July, I went to do a past life regression and started channeling angels. So now I'm in the process of writing a book and doing a YouTube channel and a podcast and doing music, and now doing interviews and trying to get the word out there in any way that we can. And, like we were talking before, eventually starting a building of enlightenment and healing and all those sorts of things. So it's quite the journey so far.
Yeah, that's amazing. I've never done a past life regression. I was actually just telling my mom last night on the phone, I don't think I'm ready just yet to do the past life regression. So I'm still working with this life.
And it's funny though, because I didn't really know what to expect out of it. I kind of just wanted to, I'm just open to everything. So I was like, oh, I'll see what happens. But like one thing they told me, and, you can heal a lot of trauma in this life from your past lives. A lot of it, it's carried over trauma that can really help you in this life because it's stuff that you don't even know that you're carrying from that past life. So sometimes, you think you're healing whatever it is in this life, but you're not even touching the right things, and you go into that past life regression and boom, now it's done. So maybe something do a little sooner than you thought.
Yeah. I'll try that.
Yeah, it's an amazing experience.
So do you have the ability to help someone do a past life regression? Is that what you do?
I don't yet. I don't do the past life regressions. I just did it that one time. And then now it's kind of the hypnosis phase that I go to. When I go to see the lady who did the past life regression, it's a very interesting story, how it all came together, and we were together in past lives, and now we're doing work together in this life that we have to finish from past lives.
That's amazing.
It is. And the whole process involves her and the building. That's a very spiritually safe place, if you put it that way. I can channel. I've done it myself a couple of times. But when I channel, I can't remember anything when I'm done. As soon as I wake up, it's like a dream. It's like it's all gone. Like I remember little bits and pieces of stuff. So she records it when we do it, and I will talk out loud when we do it with her. When I've done it with myself, it's just been like in my head. And I don't really remember much of it. But I also get like pretty frequent communications pretty much all the time. It doesn't really stop, but it's just me getting in tune with and learning and, learning to know when it's them and my own thoughts and how to differentiate a lot of times. But
Very cool.
yeah, it's an interesting process.
This is really cool. I've never done a podcast before. This is my first time. So
Yeah, so you're doing great. What about you, Mitchell?
So what I do is I do healing and I offer card readings.
Nice.
So I use tarot as like a shadow tool to help people tap into their own creativity and maybe their own blocks in relationship to finances, their love life, their career, basically working with the subconscious mind. And I only recently just met Joe, and he's happy to like co-host and do these calls with me. So we are looking to support people like yourself and help people bring their business to a more visibility and help people in any way that we can. And it's really beautiful and refreshing, like the way that I found the group. It's just been awesome, and getting to know Joe and now you as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's lots to look forward to. I definitely look forward to hearing more. So would you like to tell us a bit about your journey and maybe your healing or your awakening?
yes, I think the tarot is very cool. I've watched some tarot card readings before in my twin flame chapter segment of my healing. And I've never actually gotten a card reading. But yeah, as far as my awakening, I think that it's a funny thing because I think I've always been awake. So awakening is waking up to your true self and who you always have been, who you always were. And I feel like there's so many times that I've always known who I am, like deep down. It's just when I grew up as a kid, hearing people like put me down, or hearing, that I wasn't great at school. Teachers would say like, oh, you got to do better. You got to do, homework. And I wasn't really great at school, but that carried up into adulthood. Yeah, just growing up with these like negative belief systems and then getting involved with relationships then. So I met a guy who somewhat narcissistic. I'm actually in the process of releasing so much of that, like speaking to him like, oh, you're not so narcissistic, because I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. We currently get along very well now as friends. So that makes me very happy. But getting involved in relationships, I got to see the pressure and how I wasn't still being true to myself or self-worth and stuff like that. So I ended up being surrounded by quite a lot of toxic people at this one year, my worst year. And it was just such a bad time in my life. And I was scratching my head like, why the heck am I here? Why the heck am I, with all these people who don't appreciate me and who don't like see me? And like, once I started asking myself that, I started like slowly but surely like fixing that and reaching out and not letting myself be, intertwined with people who are toxic. And then, I had a daughter, and I really was pushing to get out of this environment that I was in. And I was living with, my ex and his family, and those were all the toxic people. And so I really was trying to reach out of this dark, side of my life. And so I was like, we need to get out. We need to not live here. We need to not be here. And so I was pushing for some changes, and, lo and behold, we moved to Texas. And literally once I took myself out of that situation, I started to breathe again. And I started to go out for hikes in nature just by myself. And I started to heal. And it was truly amazing to experience. And that's when, for my 29th birthday, I decided, let's go skydiving. So, all this new stuff came to my life. I never even knew what skydiving was, but the second I found out what it was, I was like, yeah, I want to go pro. I want to do this. And now I have 101 jumps.
Wow.
Yeah,
God.
it's so fun jumping out of an airplane. But of course, there are people like, why do you do that? Like, that's weird. Like, dude, like, you got to try it, try it, go for it. And
Wow.
And yeah, that just led to a whole new side of life where, there's just so much fun out there to be had. There's so much life to be lived. And that's a big part of my journey is, letting people know, because I was in a depressed state for quite a while. So I actually got out of depression and healed anxiety all without medications. And that was another toxic thing, is a lot of people in my family were like, oh, you got to be on meds, and you got to fix this anxiety, you got to fix this depression and put yourself on meds. And I'm living proof that I didn't need medication.
You can cure anxiety and depression by doing one thing: live in the now. Anxiety, you're living in the future. Depression, you're living in the past. Live in the now, and you eliminate both of those.
Yeah, I actually read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, and that was amazing. But yeah, in a nutshell, just, I went through a healing process. I got rid of all the garbage from the past. I'm now working on my life's purpose and also self-worth. That's a big one, is getting up there with my self-worth. Yeah. And it feels great. I'm telling everybody about it, and I'm helping people along the way. And
so was healing, or was the skydiving healing because it helped you overcome fear, or do you just get something that's like your passion that lights you up and that's how you healed yourself, or is it a little bit of both?
It's definitely the second part, because back to what I was saying with, the awakening is waking up to who you truly are.
Yeah.
I'm a fearless being. Like, I've had my parents say, like, oh, you shouldn't do that, that's risky, or you shouldn't do this, that's risky. But I always would break out of that and be like, no, I'm going to take risks in my life. I'm going to try new things. I'm going to do crazy, awesome things. And because I'm the one in my family that decides to, live wild and free, I'm able to truly enjoy the most of my life. So skydiving, to me, it's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah. It just makes you vibrate at your highest. Yeah. That's awesome. Well, and that's like such an underrated thing, I feel like, with people is, and, like, that's one thing the angels always tell me, like, I'm always like, oh, I should be doing more. I should be doing this. And they're like, you don't even realize how much just sitting there playing the piano does for the vibration of the earth. When you're in your pure joy and you're vibrating at that frequency, you're lighting up the planet. Like, you're doing so much more than you even realize. And that's what attracts people to you, and you can light them up and then they light up more. And then it's just like this ripple effect, Yeah. And I just think that's so cool when you find your joy and you can share it with other people. And like, I can feel your excitement through the, video, like, it's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think you'll ever try a skydive?
If the plane's on fire, yeah.
That's right. It's not for everyone, but so with my YouTube channel, I started making videos about my experience with skydiving. And that's what I saw is, like, it's not for everyone, but at least trying to get it out there and to spread the word that skydiving is awesome, and just doing something that you love. Or, because me, I love flying. I know my spirit animal is a bird. So for me, my head's always up in the sky.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, this is totally for me. And I feel like people should think about something that's for them and then do it, because there's so many, like, I hear people say all the time, like, oh, isn't that so expensive? Or, oh yeah, I'll save up for it, or I can't do it now. But they're just limiting themselves. But they are passionate about it. They would want to do it.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of one of those reframing things too, is when you're like in that lack or scarcity mindset, it's, I don't have the money for that, instead of, how do I find the money for that? Or how do I get the money for that? Then you're opening up possibilities and ways of the universe presenting to you where, here you go, here's that money to do that thing that you wanted to do. Instead of, I can't do that. Then you put that out there and it's like, well, you're right, you can't. So
amazing. So how do people find your services or your YouTube channel? Could you please share that with us?
Sure. So YouTube channel is Avila Love, Avila Love with 2 E's at the end.
So what's your advice? Because you live such a brave lifestyle to just do that. I think a lot of people are definitely afraid. I would love to go with you one day, to jump out of a plane. And we'll put it on your YouTube channel. So what would you recommend to people that are afraid to take that leap of faith? Because what you're doing is like a perfect example of doing that. Can you give anyone some advice?
Yeah, I would say just go for it. I think, we're all learning these new lessons of there's no better time than now. Yeah, just jump.
Yeah. And that's so interesting because we did we pulled some cards when we did our interview previous, and it's exactly what you just said. It's just time to everybody to plunge into this and go do it and take that leap of faith. So it's
I want a card reading now. Oh, we should do a card reading.
You can do one now. I mean, I'm more than happy to pull an angel card for you. And then Joe, if you would like to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you want to each pull one or three, or how do you want to do it?
I would like to pull an Oracle of the Angel card.
Okay.
These.
Okay, cool.
I'll pull one of these and I'll read the message from the book, and then Joe can go ahead with his however you want to do it.
All right.
General guidance from Spirit for everyone. Let's see. There we go. Look, the jump of faith. Initiation. See?
Oh my God.
And you got like the colors of the chakras there. And it really is, you can see it's like about this leap of faith. I'm going to read the book message. So this is number 35, which is number 8. And the message is, every stage in life is an initiation into a new higher state of being. Through these constant progressive initiations, we gain access to strengths that help us grow in love and wisdom. Welcome these evolutionary passages. See them as an opening that leads you to work on your innermost being so that you can be forever lifted up to the highest ideal, God. And the affirmation is, I am constantly being initiated into higher states of awareness. So like with regards to your YouTube channel, you could practice the affirmation, and that could help you open up your crown chakra and your inner visions,
Yeah, I like that. Well, I feel like we were meant to connect right now. This is cool.
Oh yeah, nothing's coincidence.
For sure. And
so this is the one that I pulled.
Oh.
This is the 9 of water.
Oh.
Your dreams become reality, a magical time of life, good fortune, faith in the universe that all will be well.
Oh. Wonderful. So, thank you so much.
Yeah. So I think the same messages are coming through, that it's the right time for everybody to step into their truth and what makes them vibrate at that highest possible level, and figure out how they can leverage that into a career and a life, Yeah. And it sounds like that's what you're figuring out.
Yay. I'm so excited now.
Yeah. Very cool.
Thank you so much for having me on tonight.
You're welcome.
Today.
Yeah. Whatever time it is around the world.
It's so bright out.
Have a wonderful day and where you are.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.